Welcome to Shades All Day Fishing. Today's video I'm going to be discussing 5 baits that you should be throwing from your boat to the bank to help you catch more bass. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll be giving you another bonus bait that, again, if you're in your boat or kayak, you'll be able to use. So stick around. All right, the first bait that I'm going to talk about today is the Buzzbait. The reason why I'm going to throw this is going to be my topwater presentation. It's going to be loud, it's going to make vibration, it's going to be obnoxious, and this is going to alert any fish that's in the area that, hey, I'm coming to fish. And even if you don't want this first bait, I'm going to throw something sooner or later that you're going to find enticing. So if you want something that's going to cover water, make a lot of noise, and have some topwater action, you're going to be wanting to throw a Buzzbait. Now, I'm going to select 2 colors. I'm going to have one that's in a natural presentation that I'm going to start with during the day. And then I'm always going to have a dark one that I'm going to use in really overcast conditions or at night. Buzzbaits are really great at night because they're appealing to pretty much all the bass's senses. They're going to hear it, they can see it because it's black and it's going to have a silhouette, and they can feel it because of the vibrations. Now, the only thing they can't do is smell it, but if you put the right trailer on it that's got a little bit of scent, you're going to be fine. When it comes to trailers for these kind of baits, the versatility is incredible. You can put a soft plastic frog on it. You can put a craw presentation. You can put a beaver bait on it. Anything that you want to put on it, you can try, experiment to see what's going to work on your water and your conditions. So the first bait that I'm going to be throwing from the boat to the bank, good old-fashioned Buzzbait. When it comes to old standards in tackle, there's nothing more traditional and familiar to most anglers than our bait. This is going to be the number 2 bait that I'm going to pick because this is going to act as my search bait. It's versatile in that it'll come through a lot of cover. I can fish it in almost every condition, all seasons of the year, and it's going to catch a lot of different species. Now, whether you want to put a trailer on it, you want to cut down your skirt a little bit to make a smaller presentation, when you're throwing your spinner bait, these are designed to knock off of things, to make a little bit of noise, and hopefully, if it ends up hitting something where the bass is next to, you get a strike. Now, you don't have to put your spinner baits down at night either. These baits are great at night. Just darken up your colors, throw in a little black, throw in a little red, and you're still going to be able to use these even when the suns go down. So my number 2 bait is always going to be a spinner bait. Third bait that I'm going to use, also a search bait, but again, that's a little bit more versatility, and due to the body shape, it's going to offer a different profile and presentation. I'm going to take the square bill crankbait. Usually, because you're throwing up against the bank, I'm going to go for a shallow diving crankbait. These crankbaits are going to go anywhere from 2.5 to 5 feet. These are designed to be banged off wood, rocks, along grass lines. A lot of the models come with some rattles inside, just adding a little bit of noise. They're going to make a nice vibration when they come through the water, and these things tick off the bass. I don't know what it is, but when one of these things swims by, a bass pretty much can't resist but to at least give you a reaction strike. Another thing I like is because of the 2 trebles it has on it, they're almost self-working. You cast them out, you bring them in. If you get bit, chances are you're going to get hooked up because the trebles are really, really easy to catch fish with. So the number 3 bait that I'm going to use to throw from the boat to the bank, it's got to be the square bill crankbait. All right, guys, now that we've located the fish, we have the search baits point out where they're at. Now it's time to target the big ones. That's when I'm going to reach for the good old-fashioned flipping jig. Now, all this is a heavy-duty jig that's got a nice, hard, thick-wired hook, a weed guard, and an angled head. You're going to pitch this up, it's going to break the cover, it's going to go down to where the big bass are hiding, and you should get struck. Now, one of the things you got to know when you're throwing flipping jigs, watch your line. Chances are a lot of the strikes come on the fall, so when your bait is falling, if you see your line moving from side to side, set your hook and set it hard. Now, these things are going to produce big fish. You might not get as many bites as you want, but that's where my next bait's going to come in handy. So the number 4 bait that I'm throwing from my boat to the bank is the flipping jig. Okay, we found them with the topwater. We did our search baits to locate them. We went after the big ones with our flipping jigs. but let's just say the bite is tough. Let's say it's one of those days you're out on the water and you're not getting anything. What are you gonna do? That's when you slow it up, minimize your presentation, and I'm going down to the Ned Rig. The Ned Rig is just a soft plastic on a small, light little jig hook. In this case, I'm using something that's got a weed guard. And all this is designed to do is make it to the bottom, stand straight up if you're using a floating plastic, and these things will catch fish. Now, arguably the most common and the most known presentation is the Z-Man TRD. This was the original Ned bait in the aspect that if you look at the shape, all it is half of a 5-inch Senko, but don't just stop at those. Yes, it works. Yes, it's an effective bait, but you can also throw little bug presentations. You can throw craw presentations. You can throw little minnows on these things. Now, the one thing you want to remember, always throw the lightest jig head that you can get away with. The lighter the jig head, the slower it's going to fall through the water column, the longer it's going to stay in the strike zone, the more likely you are to get a bite on these. But one of the things that the knock against them is, oh, they're small, they're only for numbers. You're never going to catch a big fish with one of these. That is not true. If you fish these enough and you throw them around areas where there are big fish, you are going to catch a big fish on a Ned Rig. Now, they do have lighter wire hooks, so you do have to be careful. I mean, if you get a monster, chances are you could bend it out. But up in Canada, I'm willing to take that chance. These are gonna catch me a whole bunch of 1 pound to 3 pound fish. I'm gonna have a blast. I'm gonna throw them all day long. And the Ned Rig is my number 5 bait that I'm throwing from the boat. Thanks for sticking around to the end, guys. As promised in the beginning, I'm gonna be throwing out a bonus bait. Again, when I'm in my boat and I'm trying to fish to the bank, one of my favorite presentations is the Dropshot. The Dropshot, there's nothing to it. You're just gonna have a weight suspended usually 12 to 18 inches underneath your hook where you're gonna be tying on a soft plastic. When it comes to Dropshot, I like all the minnow presentations, anything that's mimicking or giving you a minnow shape. And again, they've got something for realism. Here's Berkeley's Champ Minnow, an incredible bait. Live Target's got a Twitch Minnow. Again, really realistic. A great bait to put on a Dropshot. You got things that don't look like a fish but have the silhouette. In this case, it's the Z-Man trick shots. This thing is very buoyant, moves in the water column really, really easily. So when you throw these, you don't even have to do anything. You just let them sit, watch your line, feel for the bite that sets your hook. One of my favorite Dropshot baits to use is X-Zone's Finesse Slammer. I'm gonna give these guys a shout out because if you're in North America, I think this company does a great partnership. Things I really like about these baits, if you're in North America, it's a great partnership. These baits are made in Canada, but they're made with US ingredients, so it's a win-win. But that's my video, guys. Top 5 baits that I'm gonna be throwing from the boat, well, 6 if you include the bonus, is the Buzzbait, the spinnerbait, the Crankbait, the flippin' jig, the Ned bait, and then I'm gonna finish it off with a Dropshot. Hey guys, I just want to remind you, if you like the content, give me a like, subscribe, thumbs up. Any interaction really helps out the channel. Other than that, I want you to go out, take someone fishing, and get some memories.